Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Jaws Retro Edition. So dear viewers, if you don't mind, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. So Jaws Retro Edition came out this very day, and just like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Burton, you're probably wondering,
what is this?
Jaws Retro Edition is a kind of sort of re-release of Jaws, a video game that released for the Nintendo Entertainment System all the way back in 1987. But is this the latest in a long line of oh-so-lazy video game ports for modern console systems? Well, the only way we can find that out is to review this damn video game, the only way I know how. Badly. And let's start with what I enjoy about Jaws Retro Edition. This game features not one, but two different versions of Jaws for you to sink your teeth into. You can play the original version, which is improved here and does feature save states, the ability to rewind, achievements and trophies, of course. And if you're looking to play the original Nintendo version of the game, well, this is definitely the definitive way to play it. We also have the enhanced version, which is not one, not two, not three, but 4 times bigger than the original game. This is a multi-chapter adventure with tons of nods and homages to all 4 Jaws films. It also features new quests and objectives, new abilities and weapons for your boat and your diver alike, and feels more like a quote-unquote role-playing experience. Speaking of those nods and homages. Speaking of those nods and winks that I mentioned before, each of the game's chapters will be based on a different Jaws film. So, for example, the first chapter is obviously based on the first film, has a character who is very much Chief Brody's deputy in that film. It also makes it pretty obvious that we're supposed to be playing as Chief Brody in that game. There's another character who may or may not be based on the grieving mother from that first film. You know, the one whose child gets turned into bloody spaghetti by Jaws himself. And I got to say, I really enjoyed all the nods and winks to the movies. Like, for example, in the 4th chapter of the game, we kill Jaws by making him come up out of the water and we ram him with our boat, just like happens in that film, which, as we all know, is widely considered to be the best film in the franchise. What I also really appreciated is that unlike the original game, which was just, for me, as a child anyway, difficult from start to finish, this enhanced version ramps up the difficulty. So each chapter gets progressively harder until you get to the 4th chapter, during which you'll probably want to rip out your hair, if you have hair, throw your controller out of the window, if you live in a place that has windows, and or like my good self, who promised that once I eventually beat that 4th chapter, I was going to go out, hire a boat, go out into the ocean, and murder every single bloody great white shark that I came upon. Now, I don't recommend that for everyone. It just so happens that I woke up this morning with a pretty aggressive death wish. I also really enjoy the way that they mix up the gameplay in this enhanced version. Why don't I just sound like a Dalek when I said that last sentence? Anyway, I really enjoy how they mix up the gameplay in the enhanced version, particularly in the way that you have to quote-unquote level up your character by either finding objects that characters have misplaced or taking on a particularly difficult taking on a particularly difficult enemy, like a buffed up jellyfish or starfish or some such nonsense. In doing so, you'll be able to upgrade your power, the amount of hits you can take before you die, which is very nice considering that in the original game you died in one hit, as well as just upgrading your weaponry, like allowing you to shoot more than one harpoon at once, being able to auto-fire your harpoon, getting access to a submarine in the 4th chapter of the game, and so on and so forth. So Jaws Enhanced version is definitely the best way to play this game. As for negatives, well, this is what is wrong with me today? I can't bloody speak. This is still the same retro-looking video game that released all the way back in 1987, so it would have been nice if they redid the visuals, a la the Ghosts and Goblins remake or the recent Legacy of Kain remasters. I also think it would have been so nice to have some animated style cutscenes in here. You know, like the recent Clock Tower remake that Limited Run did. Or released. I don't think they actually make these remasters. You know, just spruce up the visuals a little bit. Maybe throw in some voice acting. Now that would have been a definitive version of Jaws Retro Edition in my mind. But as it stands, this is a very, very, very nice re-release of what was, for me, an absolutely dreadful video game in the 1980s, with a lot of nice nods to the movies themselves. Therefore, I declare that Jaws Retro Edition is bloody good. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another review by yours truly. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.